Make sure he doesn't bark, because if he starts barking, our dog's going to start. We'll respond.
Yeah.
If only I could control that.
You know, maybe I should put him outside. That's a very...
Oh, no, well, let's see what happens. Start. We'll respond.
If only I could control that.
You know, maybe I should put him outside. That's a very...
Oh, no, well, let's see what happens.
I guess there's a delay.
There must be a delay.
There is about a 10-second or so delay into the YouTube feed.
Okay.
Are we on live yet?
You are live.
This is...
We should turn it around that way so that people can see the lake in the background.
I'm not gonna...
Oh, okay, sure.
That means everybody can hear us.
Let's see the numbers. People. Pick and play.
Let's see what you give them. Beautiful. without holding it up or
Can we just say all or just shut this down or just-
they go to the peninsula for Shabbat services.
Right.
Right now I'm under the modifier, yeah.
Well, we're gonna wait for that because that's part of that.
I thought it wasn't.
You know?
I just had a hang in my toe.
Okay, we'll do that. So,
Shabbat shalom, Maya Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Maya hayom, Shabbat shalom, Maya hayom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Glory kala, glory kala, glory kala, glory kala. Glory kala, glory kala, glory kala, glory kala. Lecha Lodi, Birkat kala, Glory kala, glory kala, glory kala, glory kala. Glory kala, glory kala, glory kala, glory kala. Lecha Lodi, Birkat kala, Bnei Shabbat Glory kala, glory kala, glory kala, glory kala. Glory kala, glory kala, glory kala, glory kala. Maya hayom, Shabbat shalom. Maya hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Maya hayom, Shabbat shalom. Maya hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. It's wonderful to be together again on this Friday evening. And just as Shabbat is about to start, the beautiful sun has come out in Erie, and it's turning out to be a beautiful evening. And wonderful to be able to share it together with all of us, even though we can't be together in person, but we are together in spirit. We have lots of wonderful music this evening. Yael Morey is here with us, and Jesse is with us. And we're going to begin as we ask the Leviks to light our Shabbat candles, and that can be found on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvoso v'tzivonu lahadlik ner shal Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
We turn together to page 10, and we'll join in Hine Matov. This week, we've had the opportunity to celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel Independence Day. And we wanted to share with you a song that's fairly popular in Israel called Yachad, which talks about the idea of our hearts being together. And we continue as we welcome Shabbat and say Shabbat Shalom to each other, and we welcome Shabbat into our lives and into our hearts as we turn to page 20 and join in Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Librat Kala, B'nai Shabbat, Nekavah, Lecha Dodi, Librat Kala, B'nai Shabbat, Nekavah, Shamor Mizachor.
we turn to page 24 and we join in Shalom Aleichem. May peace be on all of us. Peace is a sense of wholeness, a sense of completeness, a sense of health and happiness, a sense of Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Machem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Marchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And on page 26, we join in Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkada Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivarach Yerutei ve'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'chayei docho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'vizman garib. Yimaru, amen. V'hei shemei Rabbah mevorach. Ve'olam olam me'amaya. Yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach. V'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei b'kudasham b'rihu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma. Yimaru, amen.
And we join together in Baruch, page 28.
Baruch Hu.
Everlasting love you have offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו, קומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. ואהבת אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
We turn together to page 34. And there we join in the Shema. As we listen to these ancient words, we hear each other across the boundaries of space, of not being able to be together, and yet we still hear these words. We hear them in our minds and in our hearts.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
And we continue with V'ahavta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשופך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי
V'yetem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, v'hiyot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. We continue on page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been a glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Micha Mocha, page 40. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, a song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and to peace evermore.
Guide us.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. And we join in Vishamru, page 44. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. As we turn together to page 46 for Amidah.
Adonai, sifatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sorah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevig Ula Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Moshiach U'Magim, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Hara V'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim V'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol V'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, Mishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech B'mit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzliach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, v'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, alone, in whom alone we serve in reverence.
Yitzhak Adonai Eloheinu, le'amecha Yisrael, u'tefilatam le'ava tikabel. Tamid avodat Yisrael, Yisrael amecha. Karov lecha, karov penei, avadecha lechaneinu. Shefach ruach aleinu. V'techezin einenu, meshuvecha l'tzion. V'rachamim.
Page 61. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. We join together in Shalom Rav, page 60.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Me'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Me'olam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom.
We take some time and leave the text of our tradition and the prayer book aside, and we look inward to those prayers that are in our hearts and in our minds. Some moments of silent prayer.
Adonai tzuri v'gali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. O say shalom bimroma, uyasi shalom aleinu, lekol Yisrael, leimeru, leimeru.
We take some time and think of all those in our community, in our country, in our world, who are suffering through this terrible virus. We think of the wonderful medical professionals who care and heal, of families who are with those who are ill. We also think of all those in our community who are in need of blessings of healing. And we think of Lisa Chinsky and Kevin McRae, Emily Bostwick, Myrna Urkov, David Markowitz, Martha Snyder, Donna Mogul, Ken Mueller, Helen Heinz Chavez, Amelia Ruth Soika, Mark Gold, Teresa Kissel, Jessica Watson, Carol Alexander, Vivian Vidmar, Randy Martin, Joan Harf, Nan Briggs, Joyce Miller, Anthony Mathis, Rick Wright, Joseph Pissetner, Donald Moritz, Roberta Borilla, Jamie Katz, Susan Dietz, Fran Porras, Nancy Comey Bell, Robert Ruggiero, Eric Perry, Michael Byron, Barb LaMonica, Scott Gordon, Luda Kaplan, Doug Russell, Kathleen Martz, Julie Griwont, Michael Fajcik, and Linda Katsoros. And if you have other names that you would like to add, please say the names out loud, write them in the chat box, share them with each other, share them in our hearts. And we turn together to the words of our prayer for healing, Mishaberach, on page 253.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say, Amen. Yisheberach imotenu lekor habracha leotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. This week we are reading the parsha called Achrei Mot Kedushim. And it's that second parsha that I want to think about and share with you some series of ideas. Kedushim is the Hebrew word for holiness, separate, distinct. And the text begins with these wonderful words, this injunction, this imperative that God calls on us, Kedoshim Tihiyu, you will be holy. Ki kadosh, ani Adonai Elohechem, because I, God, am holy, implying that we are an image, we are a reflection of God, and therefore, if God is sacred and holy, then we too need to strive for that sense of sacredness as well. We have so many different kinds of rituals and traditions and practices, ones for almost every occasion. But does observing those rituals make us holy? Our early reformers believed no. Our early reformers said, forget ritual. Think about morals. Think about imperatives. In the last few days, we've heard difficult news about our summer. Our Jewish summer camps are canceling. It's a difficult time for all of us who have been involved with camping for many years, for our staff, Yael, who is expecting to spend her summer as a song leader at George, and for so many others whose year is highlighted by these moments at camp. And I've been going to camp since Camp George started, so 20-something years ago, plus my own experience as a child at camp. But what makes camp important is not what we do at camp or the rituals we do at camp, but it is, in fact, the community that we build. And that goes across the Jewish board, across the Jewish world. Because above all, we are a kihila kadosha. We are a sacred community. And we can be that sacred community whether we are together in our beautiful building and with our beautiful setting, or whether we're here in cyberspace, whether we're in our own homes, and we're coming together and we're joining in that sense of being a kihila kadosha, that sacred community. It's really the relationships that we build and we foster with each other that create that sense of kadosh, that sense of holiness. If you look at the text says, be holy. And then it follows with some examples of what holiness can mean. And the examples are not about observing rituals or whatever. For several weeks now, we have been learning about sacrifices. We have gone through weeks of learning about sacrifices. Sacrifices for when you do something wrong, sacrifices for thank you, sacrifices for all occasions. But when God speaks to us of holiness, God speaks about how we interact with each other. Because it's at this moment that God talks to us about making sure that the people who are hungry in our community know that they can get food and where they should get that food from. Making sure that we know that even though we work hard to create things, not everything is ours. For instance, the farmer doesn't own the edges and the corners of their fields. Those belong to those in need. Sacred, holy. These actions are exemplified really in our name, the name of the synagogue. Name Anshe, people, chesed, kindness, goodness. And it's this essence that's really who we are. And it's this idea that really helps guide us in these difficult times. Because we're really holy, we're really sacred when we care for others. So I want to give you an opportunity to think about ways that we can all help each other a little bit. Help each other through this time. Do something kind for somebody else. For instance, on Sunday, we'll have our annual mitzvah day. It won't be like any other mitzvah day we've had, but our Gesher students are going to participate in the mitzvah of communicating, the mitzvah of reaching out. They're going to be making some phone calls to people who may or may not have people around them, who may be alone, and an opportunity to connect. We've been given a wonderful donation by the Brody Fund, a private foundation who's given us some support for our school in the past and has now given us some extra support to reach out and to do more to make this time a little bit better for those in our community. Our Jewish Community Council has made generous donations to both our local synagogues and to many community organizations working to help people during this lockdown time. And we have resources that are available, and if you know somebody in our community who's in need, please let me know. We have resources and we can help. I've been meeting with many of our leaders and talking about ways that we can continue to grow and develop our congregational community. Our Gesher and youth groups are continuing to meet, and we're hoping that over the next few weeks and months, we'll be able to organize ways for people to perhaps connect together. Maybe in smaller groups, maybe over internet connections, we don't know yet. The loss of camp is incredibly hard for everybody involved. Many of our students who attend camp will be sad. Many of their parents will be sad. Our staff, our camp staff. But it's not because they can't go swimming or going boating or skiing or sailing or those kinds of things. It's because they can't come together in that sacred sense of being a community. That sacred sense of being together in a place that runs and flows on Jewish time. So we'll have to find other ways to connect with each other, other ways for our kids to feel that sense of community. So this Shabbat, reach out. Send an email, phone, whatever you need to do. This Shabbat is filled especially with holiness. And holiness means caring for somebody else. So please, take a few moments and reach out to those people. Reach out to those people you know. Reach out to people you may or may not have talked to in a while. And help create that sense of holiness for all of us. We wish you all Shabbat Shalom. And we'll continue with Aleinu on page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula l'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמו ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים ואלוהינו אינות אמת מלכנו אפזולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים השמיים ממעל והארץ מתחת עינות ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We are in the period of Shloshim for Miriam Ronis, Shirley Bernstein, and Martin R. Shore. And we observe the following yahrzeits on this Shabbat: Gertrude Mayers, Selma Rubenfield Aronovitz, Arthur Osterheimer, Marion Bash Kahn, Philip Hanauer, Miriam Smith, Tony Lechner, Jeannie Shack, Moses Rosenthal, M. Mayo Levick, Robert K., Judith Loeb Ostro, Sam Lurie, Lucien Selig, Lawrence Frank, Rebecca Buckstein, Marilyn Cohen, Abraham DeRoy, and Miriam Smith. And if you have other names to add, please do so in your hearts out loud. Please add their names to our chat. We turn together to the words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lameh almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekutsha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the peace that God sends to us grant peace for the whole world, for the community of Israel, for all who are in need. And together we say, amen. There are a few announcements this evening. We dedicate these services to the memory of Tony Lechner and to Marilyn Cohen. The donations that have been made to our flower fund for this Shabbat service will be used to offset costs for our virtual services and our video communications during this time. Gesher will continue according to our regularly scheduled classes. And thank you, Kendra, and to all of our teachers for continuing to work with our kids. It's really a joy to have them together, and they're all looking forward to being with each other on Sunday mornings, and it's really fun to hear and be with them. The names that appear on our Yahrzeit list are names are on our service sheets each week, are the names of those whose family members have purchased a perpetual memory in their memory. Purchasing this perpetual memorial means that your loved one will have Kaddish said for them in perpetuity. If you'd like to arrange this for a loved one, you can call the office. We're going to end this evening with a song that we have used before. The words are salam, shalom. That sense of wholeness and completeness. And may we all be able to see our lives in complete peace soon. Shabbat shalom.
Ojevo shalom aleinu, Ojevo shalom aleinu, Ojevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojevo shalom aleinu, Ojevo shalom aleinu, Ojevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Ojevo shalom aleinu, Ojevo shalom aleinu, Ojevo
Ojevo Shalom Aleinu. Ojevo Shalom Aleinu. Ojevo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Stay home, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you, Jesse.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.